Hello, Mataji, and watching Morning Pulse on HornbillTV. TV. India's government has asked Indigo, Air India, SpiceJet and Asha to provide data on average fares charged. A document shows as antitrust authorities investigate unprecedented travel disruptions in December. Pilot shortages at Indigo, which dominates India's aviation market with a 65% share, forced it to cancel about 4,500 flights last month, stranding thousands of passengers and disrupting air travel nationwide. Fares of certain airlines surged during the crisis, prompting the government to impose temporary caps. India's competition regulator CCI in December said it was proceeding against Indigo to assess whether it had abused its market position. Indigo has not commented on this case. India's Director General of Civil Aviation, which oversees safety, has written to airlines asking for average fares on each route they operated on for economy and economy seats over the period December 1 to 15, according to a Reuters review of a January 1 government email to Indigo, Airline, Air India, Express, SpiceJet and Asha. The government email also asked airlines to provide fare data in affected routes during the disruptions. There is no indication that the case is being broadened to scrutinize other airlines. Cuban ambassador to India Juan Carlos Masan Aguilera has expressed surprise and concern over recent developments of Venezuela involving the United States. The ambassador said that on January 3, while at his office, he received word from Havana that the U.S. had carried out what was described as military aggression against Venezuela, a move he did not expect. Masan noted that in recent weeks, the United States have deployed military equipment and personnel in the Caribbean as part of heightened pressure on Venezuela, a situation that has drawn strong reactions internationally amid escalation tensions.
Venezuela. What are your views? How do you look at the development which has taken place in Venezuela?
Yes, I really was surprised. I remember I was in my office here last 3rd of January at midday, and I received a phone call from Capital, put me in the news that the U.S. made a military aggression towards Venezuela. And I was totally surprised. Of course, in the last month, I know that the U.S. has gathered some military equipment and troops in the Caribbean to put pressure on Venezuela. But I never imagined that we will come back to the time of the Cold War and unilaterally a big country will have this illegal military invasion over a sovereignty a country like the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, and they did it. You know, I was following them, the news. I see all the military attacks, all the damage caused in Caracas and other states in Venezuela, other provinces in Venezuela, and also that a terrorist group kidnapped the legitimate president Nicolas Maduro Moros and his wife. Of course, it is an illegal action. I think it's against all the principles contained in the United Nations Charter and international law. It's completely unilateral. No one country could support this kind of action in the 21st century because nobody has the right to intervene in the internal affairs of other country, but even to make this a military invasion or aggression against a sovereign country. We are completely against this action. We are condemning this military aggression towards Venezuela. And of course, we understand the right of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela to defend itself of this military aggression. And of course, we also demand the immediate release of the legitimate president Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores, because only the people of Venezuela has the right to decide who will be in the government, who will lead in the country, and no other country, not a big power, has the right to decide for them. It is my statements about this topic.
NCP leader Nawab Malik has unveiled the party's manifesto ahead of the BMC elections, highlighting initiatives aimed at making Mumbai a dust-free city and the construction of hostels for working women. Speaking on political lines, Malik criticized the PJP for partnering with AIMIM in Accord and with Congress in Ambarnath, saying that the veil has been lifted and a party that once promoted a Congress-free India, implying a shift in its political stance.
मैनिफेस्टो हमने रिलीज कर दिया है। इस मैनिफेस्टो में हर चीजों पे हमने विशेष करके बातें की हैं, लेकिन जो किसी ने नहीं बात की ऐसी कुछ चीजें हैं जो हमने अलग से उसको ध्यान देने की बात की है। हमने डस्ट फ्री सिटी बनाने की बात की है। मुंबई शहर में 50 साल पहले डस्टिंग वॉशिंग का प्रोग्राम चलता था, जिससे धूल मिट्टी की समस्या नहीं थी। आज मुंबई का विस्तार 20 गुना बड़ा हो गया है। आज टेक्नोलॉजी बदली है, यंत्र आ गए हैं, पैसा महानगर पालिका के पास है। अगर हम उसको ढंग से कार्यान्वित करेंगे तो डस्ट फ्री सिटी बनेगा। ये हमारा कार्यक्रम है। हमने जो दिव्यांग लोग हैं उनके लिए अलग बजट का प्रोविजन करके उनके उद्धार की बात की है। हमने जो मूक बधिर बच्चे हैं उनके हर वार्ड में एक बीएमसी की स्कूलें बंद है, वहां पे नए स्कूल खोलने की बात की है। कौशल विकास कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत 50 साल पहले बीएमसी के स्कूलों में बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग दी जाती थी, वो बंद हो गया है कार्यक्रम, उसको पुनर्जीवित करने की बात की है। वर्किंग वुमेन हॉस्टल इस शहर में बड़े पैमाने पे बनाने की बात है। जो कामकाजू महिलाएं हैं या तो इस शहर में वो किराए के मकान लेके रहती हैं या रूम शेयरिंग में पेइंग गेस्ट करके रहती हैं, जिसमें आधे से ज्यादा सैलरी उनकी उसी में चली जाती है। तो आज जरूरत है इस शहर में वर्किंग वुमेन हॉस्टल बड़े पैमाने पे बनाए जाए। तो इन चीजों को भी हमने कहा है। ट्रैफिक की समस्या है, पानी को लेके अलग अलग चीजों को हमने रखा है, लेकिन अलग हटके भी इन कार्यक्रमों को हमने लोगों के सामने रखा है।
Sir, but as you stated that free water and a smart water meter for slums area, what did you say on this?
देखिए, फ्री वाटर आज भी है, लेकिन पानी कितना इस्तेमाल हो रहा है इसका डाटा किसी के पास नहीं। जो मीटर है उसकी रीडिंग कभी होती नहीं है। स्मार्ट मीटर होगा तो रीडिंग तो होगी। मीटर सबको दिया जाए, पानी कितना इस्तेमाल हो रहा है वो लोगों के पास से डाटा आएगा तो स्कैरसिटी की जो प्रॉब्लम है वो कम हो सकती है। मीटर सबको लगाए जाए, लेकिन कुछ लोगों को फ्री मीटर कर दिया जाए, लेकिन मेजरिंग होगा कि एक्चुअल रिक्वायरमेंट मुंबई शहर में कितना है, कितना डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो रहा है। आज ये मीटरिंग ना होने की वजह से स्कैरसिटी लगातार बनी रहती है और बीएमसी की भी परेशानी है। मीटर पुराने हो जाते हैं, रीडिंग होती नहीं है। कोई कंप्लेंट करेगा तो कहते हैं 20,000 का नया मीटर लाओ, तब आपका मीटर हम बदली करेंगे, नहीं तो पुरानी रीडिंग लेके चलेंगे। तो ये चीजें हैं। इसको अगर स्मार्ट मीटर लगेगा तो स्मार्ट मीटर लगने का मतलब सबसे पैसा वसूलना नहीं है। स्मार्ट मीटर का मतलब है कि कितना पानी इस्तेमाल हो रहा है, कम से कम बीएमसी के पास डाटा है, किसको फ्री करना है वो तय किया जाए।
Sir, but as you mentioned that dust free Mumbai, but Mumbai's AQI level is very high, and this is a major problem for Mumbaikars. What did you say on this?
नहीं, this is the major problem. AQI level is very high due to the dust. Earlier there was a dust-free city because there was dusting program. The BMC was washing the road. Nowadays this program has been abandoned. This required a huge number of machineries, technologies. We are spoken on that issue. Definitely we are having a ample budget to procure this kind of equipment. If this equipment can be procured, this program can be implemented. Definitely Mumbai will be dust free.
In Ambarnath, BJP joined hand with Congress and Shinde Sena with free away. What did you say on this?
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कांग्रेस से हाथ मिलाकर कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत की बात करने वाली पार्टी का चेहरा बेनकाब हो गया। कांग्रेस भी बीजेपी से मिल गई। ये साफ हो गया है कि सत्ता के लिए किसी भी हद तक जा सकते हैं। कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ मिलाना, एमआईएम के साथ बीजेपी का हाथ मिलाना, इनके चेहरों से नकाब उठा है जो जनता देख रही है।
AP National Convener Arvind Kejriwal has announced the launch of Phase 2 of the party's campaign Youth Nashya and Vritu against drug abuse. Kejriwal highlighted that while several states continue to face rampant drug problems, state governments have shown little concern. He pointed out that during the rule of Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab, drug had infiltrated nearly every household, and even the subsequent 5-year Congress government failed to make any significant impact.
आज बेहद खुशी का दिन है कि युद्ध नशे विरुद्ध की फेज 1 की शानदार सफलता के बाद आज फेज 2 की शुरुआत हो रही है। पिछले साल आज से लगभग 10 महीने पहले 1 मार्च 2025 को फेज 1 की शुरुआत हुई थी। जिस साफ नीयत, मेहनत और शानदारी तरीके से फेज 1 को किया गया, लागू किया गया, इस तरह से नशे के खिलाफ युद्ध पंजाब तो क्या पूरे देश में किसी भी राज्य में नशे के विरुद्ध युद्ध कभी नहीं किया गया। ऐसा नहीं कि पूरे देश में केवल पंजाब में नशा बिकता है, बहुत सारे राज्य हैं, हरियाणा है, गुजरात है, कई सारे राज्य हैं जहां पे दिल्ली है, जहां खूब नशा बिक रहा है, खूब नशा बिक रहा है, लेकिन वहां की सरकारों को परवाह ही नहीं है। पंजाब के अंदर भी हमारे से पहले जब अकाली दल की सरकार थी, सबसे ज्यादा पंजाब की गली गली और घर घर के अंदर नशा उनके राज के दौरान, उनके शासन के दौरान घर घर पहुंचाया गया था। इतना ज्यादा पूरा पंजाब नशे में, उसी दौरान उड़ता पंजाब पिक्चर बनी थी, पूरे पंजाब का बच्चा बच्चा घर घर के अंदर नशा पहुंचने लगा था। उनके कई बड़े बड़े आगू नशा बेचने में शामिल थे। उसके बाद कैप्टन साहब ने सौं चुकी गुटका साहब की और बोले मैं 30 दिन में, पता नहीं 60 दिन में मैं नशा खत्म कर दूंगा। 5 साल उनकी सरकार चली, उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, झूठी सौं खाई उन्होंने। उसके बाद हमारी सरकार आई, हमें थोड़ा समय लगा क्योंकि इसकी सारी तैयारी करनी थी, लेकिन पिछले साल 1 मार्च के बाद जितनी शिद्दत के साथ, जितने हौसले के साथ हम लोगों ने नशे के खिलाफ कार्रवाई शुरू की। बहुत लोगों ने हमें कहा ये बड़े खतरनाक लोग हैं नशा बेचने वाले, ये बड़े बड़े गैंगस्टर हैं, नशा बेचने वाले तस्कर बहुत बड़े बदमाश हैं, गुंडे हैं, आपको, आपके परिवार को ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे। हमने कहा नहीं, हम जनता से वादा करके आए हैं, पंजाब को नशा मुक्त करेंगे, हमारे बच्चों को अच्छी भविष्य देंगे। और पिछले 1 साल के अंदर, 10 महीने के अंदर 28,000 केस दायर किए गए नशा तस्करों के खिलाफ। इतने बड़े स्तर के ऊपर पूरे देश में आजादी के बाद से 75 साल में किसी राज्य के अंदर इतने केस नहीं दायर किए गए। 28,000 केस। और ये फर्जी केस नहीं है। जब अदालत में ये केस गए, जब अदालत में एफआईआर गई, तो इनमें से 88% केस में आदमी को जेल हो गई, केस सफल हुए। नहीं तो फर्जी केस होते हैं ना, फर्जी केस कर देते हैं दिखाने के लिए, ऊपर से सरकार कहती है केस करो, वो फर्जी केस कर देते, सारे छूट नहीं रहे। जिनको पुलिस पकड़ रही है वो जेल जा रहे हैं, उनको मुकदमे में उनको सजा हो रही है। 100 केस अगर पकड़े तो उसमें से 88 केस में जेल हुई कोर्ट के अंदर। 28,000 केसेस में से जितने केस अभी तक कोर्ट में गए हैं, उसमें से 88% केसेस में जेल हुई है। लगभग 42,000 स्मगलर्स को पकड़ा गया। इतने बड़े स्तर के ऊपर कोई नहीं पकड़ा, कभी नहीं, किसी राज्य के अंदर इतने बड़े स्तर के ऊपर नहीं पकड़ा गया। 42,000 स्मगलर्स को पकड़ा गया, जिसमें से 350 ऐसे हैं जो कि बहुत बड़े बड़े स्मगलर हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि केवल छोटों को पकड़ा, छोटों को भी पकड़ा गया, बड़ों को भी पकड़ा। 350 स्मगलर ऐसे हैं जो बहुत बड़े हैं। आप लोगों ने आपके पिंड में भी हुआ होगा, आपके हल्के में भी हुआ होगा, आपके इलाके में भी हुआ होगा, जो इनकी प्रॉपर्टी थी, जो इन्होंने बड़े बड़े महल बना रखे थे, बंगले बना रखे थे, बिल्डिंगें बना रखी थी, दफ्तर बना रखे थे, इन स्मगलरों ने पहली बार सरकार ने बुलडोजर से उनकी बिल्डिंगों को गिराया है। लोगों को लगने लगा कि यहां पहली बार एक सरकार आई है जो नशे के खिलाफ लड़ाई लड़ रही है। टीवी में चला, लाइव चला, कितने अभी भी चल रहा है। अभी भी ये काम चल रहा है कि इनके खिलाफ जबरदस्त कार्रवाई, बड़े बड़े, और जो सबसे बड़ा, जिसके नाम पे पूरे पंजाब में पता है कि सबसे बड़ा कौन था तस्कर नशे का, कौन था, उसका नाम लेने से लोग कांपते थे, प्रशासन कांपता था उसका नाम लेने से।
Chief of the Army Staff COS General Upendra Trivedi on Wednesday laid a wreath at the India Peacekeeping Force Memorial in Colombo, Sri Lanka as part of his official visit to the island nation, paying homage to the Indian soldiers who laid down their lives during the Operation Pavan. According to a post by the Additional Director General of Public Information ADGPI of the Indian Army on X, the red laying ceremony was a moment of quiet remembrance and respect for the brave personnel who sacrificed in the service of peace, stability and regional harmony during the IPKF's deployment in Sri Lanka between 1987 and 1990. The ADGPI noted that the IPKF memorial stands as a lasting tribute to the valor, courage and professionalism of Indian Army troops who served under challenging circumstances during the mission, and also commemorates the Army's role in peacekeeping operations and reflects their unwavering commitment to regional security and stability. Meanwhile, CDS General Anil Chauhan said that General S.K. Sinha was a soldier who valued education and ideation as much as light action. His writings and lectures reflected an officer who could connect to tactical reality with strategic trends.
Let me now talk about Jan Sinha as a man, first as a scholar warrior in true sense. Jan Sinha was a soldier who valued education and ideation as much as he liked action. He immersed himself in military history, doctrine, and wider world of ideas. His writings and lectures reflected an officer who could connect the tactical reality with strategic trends. Jan Sinha was a thinking journal. He believed that intellect sharpens command and that professional military education is not a luxury but a necessity for a modern soldier. He urged officers to acquire knowledge. He felt that all officers must be students of history and geopolitics, society and culture, insurgency as well as statecraft. He said this because all military actions are designed to protect three elements of a nation state, what actually constitutes a nation state, that is territory, its people and its ideology. Today, as warfare grows increasingly complex, spanning space, cyber, information, and the cognitive domain, the need for scholar soldiers and thinking journals is far more than before. Today, even the basic building blocks which I just spoke about, what constitutes a nation state, that are being challenged. The concept of sovereignty, the concept of nation state, that is being challenged. Even diplomacy is under strain. That brings forth the point there's more need for thinking journals to be there. Jan Sinha was also a soldier statesman. Few officers have navigated the civil military space with natural ease that Jan Sinha did. As governor, particularly in Jammu and Kashmir, he demonstrated that uniformed experience can enrich constitutional responsibility, not compete with it. He respected democratic institutions, valued dialogue, and understood that military power must always operate in harmony with political intent and societal realities. In an era where civil-military relations globally are often strained or misunderstood, Jan Sinha stands as a reminder that India's strength lies not in dominance and confrontation, but in balancing and in cooperation.
The National Medical Commission has cancelled the recognition of Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Medical College in Jammu. NMC Chairperson Dr. Abhijat Chandrakant Shet said that while the college had initially been issued a letter of permission following a virtual hearing, recent credible complaints regarding inadequate learning resources, faculty shortages, training materials and infrastructure prompted a surprise inspection. Dr. Shet emphasized that the inspection was conducted in accordance with the provisions of the National Medical Commission Act and its established norms, ensuring compliance with medical education standards.
Let's be clear from the National Medical Commission side that yes, we did give initial LOP and we give LOP on virtual hearing at that time, accepting their submission about the deficiencies. And based on that, we have given LOP to the institution, which is the normal process. What has happened that even during these controversial issues, we, NMC, clearly stand by their medical standard regulations, and we rejected their appeal to go into a complete counseling to the medical counseling committee at the national level. So NMC stayed in a balanced and neutral way with this issue. What has happened in recent time, we received credible complaints about the learning resources, faculty issues, training material, infrastructure issues, and we received a couple of credible complaints regarding this issue. Hence, we have to conduct a surprise inspection, which is under the Act and under the norms of National Medical Commission. Based on this particular report, we realized that there were gross shortcomings, and hence the National Medical Commission has decided to withdraw the LOP. Now, this is not of its first incidence. We have cancelled the LOPs in the past also with the similar processes and as per the MSR regulations. Now, these students, yes, we are also concerned. NMC is also concerned about these students, but there is a mechanism to relocate these students across the other institutions in the region. And there are clear-cut norms established by the National Medical Commission, which has been communicated to the institution, as well as it is well established to the states also. So we are very sure that eventually none of the students will suffer, and we take responsibility from the NMC side that this will not compromise the students who already gotten admitted. It will not compromise their rights and their stand to continue their study as a medical undergraduate. That is what my summary on behalf of the National Medical Commission is about.
So, sir, can we expect, soon the students are going to be adjusted somewhere else?
Well, it's a process we have already directed. There are norms which is very well established, and if the state need any help, state can always connect with the National Medical Commission. We are there to help the institution and the state to ensure that the smooth transition takes place.
Hundreds of Asha workers on Wednesday held a demonstration outside Swastha Bhavan, the headquarters of the West Bengal Health Department in Salt Lake, to press for their demands, including a hike in the minimum monthly honorarium and insurance cover. The official said that the situation turned tense as the agitators breached barricades to reach the building's entrance, but police locked the main gate to prevent them from entering the premises. The protesters then staged a sit-in outside the main gate of Swastha Bhavan. The Asha workers' demands include a minimum monthly honorarium of ₹15,000 and insurance cover of ₹5 lakh in case of death of duty. A section of the protesters also threatened to boycott the upcoming assembly elections if their demands were not met. The agitators also demanded that at least 10 to 15 representatives be allowed to meet senior officials of the health department for talks. Vehicular movement was also briefly disrupted around noon as a large number of Asha workers assembled in the area to march towards Swastha Bhavan. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.